KFC is one of the most iconic fast food brands ever known to man. When you're tired after dealing with a lot at work or with kids, all you crave is comfort food. The food majority considered to be the best is one that is quick and at the same time affordable. KFC's breaded chicken is nothing if not both. We go behind the scenes to see how KFC's breaded chicken is made and look at KFC's manufacturing process. Kentucky Fried Chicken is popularly addressed worldwide as KFC, is one of the leading fast food restaurants in the world that specializes in chicken, especially when you consider that the word chicken is part of the restaurant's name. You know they take the business seriously. There are plenty of fast food joints that serve fried chicken, each valid in its own unique way. But when you're craving some killer fried chicken, you find yourself walking into the nearest KFC restaurant. Over the years, KFC has maintained its popularity and has consistently stayed on top of the largest chicken fast food organization worldwide. You never really get tired of sinking your teeth into fried chicken, especially when it's done right, and KFC tends to do it better than most. So what is the secret that sets KFC apart from other brands? This secret will be discussed later in this video. However, let's examine the production process. The process involved in the production of this fast food is not as technical as you think. And it is comforting to know that this comfort fast food is made in a way you can relate to. Except KFC does it on a much larger scale, with the use of an infernal magic machine called the pressure fryer. KFC actually makes their breaded fried chicken from the raw animal, chicken, to the final product that gets into buckets and double downs at their stores. It's basically like you would do it in your regular kitchen, except that KFC uses a pressure fryer instead. KFC makes use of fresh chicken for its products. It would be easy to assume that KFC and other fast food restaurants are frozen meat products for their menus. However, KFC uses fresh, chilled, but not frozen chicken for their products. The chicken is supplied by a local poultry company and is already cut into pieces: breasts, thighs, legs, and wings. The first step in making KFC breaded chicken is to prepare the breading mixture, which includes flour, salt, milk, egg powder, and the secret ingredient. To ensure proper distribution of the dry breaded mix, the dry ingredients are twisted and folded about 20 times and then sifted. As mentioned earlier, KFC uses real chicken that has already been processed into desirable cuts. The next step is to check the chicken. Basically, it's a controlled thing, and such should be expected from a top chicken fast food company. They inspect the chicken breast, thighs, legs, and wings for bruises, broken bones, excess fat, or leftover feathers and accidental organs left in. Generally, the chicken is usually fine, but you know one cannot be too careful. The next step after inspection is to dump the chicken into a brine, which allows the breading to stick. Then dry off by toasting the chicken around 7 times. The drying toss is done to ensure the chicken is not too wet when it hits the breading. The breading is so fine that it feels like swimming in fairy dust when you dip your hand in the mixing tub. The chicken is placed into the breading using a pseudo breaststroke motion 7 times. Surprisingly, KFC is obsessed with doing things 7 times, which plays a big part in the uniqueness of the taste. When it's good and well coated, the chicken is collected in a basket, and the seesawed motion is done 7 times. As you might have guessed, this is done to ensure the chicken is not over-breaded and reuse the breading. Finally, the chicken is placed on the frying rack. There is a whole chart that KFC uses to teach its employees how to place the breaded chicken cuts on a rack, with different illustrations depending on the size of the cuts. After careful placement on the frying rack, the chicken is pressure fried to perfection for about 10 to 25 minutes. KFC pressure fries its chicken, and it might sound scary, but it's awesome and requires special machines to do so. Normally, when you imagine someone making fried chicken, you probably think of them submerging it in a bubbling fat or an iron skillet filled with oil. While KFC has always used oil, it uses it differently by basically using a pressure cooker. KFC has pioneered pressure cooking with hot oil since the early 90s. However, it's important to know that using oil in a pressure cooker not meant for oil is very dangerous. KFC has differentiated its manufacturing process to ensure that it retains a competitive advantage by using information systems and has created its own unique requirements, which is different from its competitors in the same business. The primary activities are aimed at creating products that are unique. KFC has a strong distribution channel that enables it to produce large quantities of goods within a short time and distribute them at discounted prices in accordance with quality assurance. Kentucky Fried Chicken is an American fast food restaurant that specializes in fried chicken. It's one of the largest fast food chains in the world, with over 23,000 locations in over 140 countries. So, it's safe to say that you are probably never too far from a KFC restaurant. KFC was founded by Colonel Harlan Sanders, an entrepreneur who began selling fried chicken from his roadside restaurant in Corbin, Kentucky. He did this during the Great Depression. Kentucky Fried Chicken has not always been known as KFC, as Harlan Sanders first sold his fried chicken in front of the gas station he owned, and called it Sanders Court and Cafe in 1937. Sanders prepared his chicken in an iron frying pan, which consumes a lot of time, but he refused to deep fry the chicken because he believed that would reduce the quality of the product. In 1939, the first commercial pressure cookers were released onto the market, and Sanders bought one and modified it to a pressure fryer, which he used then to fry chicken. This new method reduced the production time and retained the quality. In 1940, Sanders finalized what came to be known as the original recipe of 11 herbs and spices, which he never revealed to the public. KFC began to gain popularity in 1952 after it was franchised, and by 1963 there were over 600 KFC restaurants, making the company the largest food operation in the United States at that time. Sanders sold KFC in 1964 to a group of investors led by John White Brown Jr. and Jack C. Macy for $2 million. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, KFC went through a series of changes in a corporate ownership with little or no experience in the restaurant business. Brown sold the company to Hubline, a packaged food and drinks corporation, in 1971. In 1982, Hubline was acquired by R.J. Reynolds Food and Tobacco Conglomerate, which later sold it to PepsiCo for $850 million in 1986. The secret that sets KFC apart is Sanders' original recipe, which he never made public. This secret recipe was concocted using 11 herbs and spices that still remain a secret to this day. The KFC secret chicken recipe is tucked away safely in a vault at the company's headquarters in Louisville, Kentucky, and it's stated that only 2 people know what the secret recipe entails. Although Sanders admitted the use of pepper and salt, he also claimed that the other ingredients stand on everybody's shelf. Many people have attempted to establish the hidden recipe, but no success has been recorded. Even though fresh out of the pressure cooker, KFC's breaded chicken is really finger-looking good. Do you think it would taste just as good when cold? Leave your answer in the comment section below.